Okay, I think we're live.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's time to start.
Yeah, my channel is going. I see myself on my channel. Very exciting.
Beautiful. I've got the chat up. So
As do I. I actually have a second monitor, which helps me now.
Wow.
I know, fancy me.
This is like high-tech streamer.
Except
Don't
for my
forget us when you're
Bluetooth
famous.
speaker. I've had some poor fortune with some recent headsets, so I'm in a transition period, unfortunately.
Okay, well, hopefully we survive. I've just got a normal earbuds, mobile phone headset on. So
Yeah.
apologies for the fantastic sound quality, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
I think you sound good, actually.
Oh, thank you. That's just my voice.
Agreed.
Alright, so we've got 4 people watching, so there's a 4 people.
Hey, let's go.
Okay.
I used to know how to do anything with this channel, and now I don't. Like I used to know like how to see who's watching and stuff. I can't even do that anymore. I think it's my old age.
Yeah, once you reach a certain point, you just lose any sort of ability with technology. So,
Hey, Uncle Vinny, nice to have you.
Hey, Nick. Right, it's actually Uncle Vinny's game. That's one of the first ones.
Oh, it is the first one, actually.
The very first.
The very first. And spoiler alert, Uncle Vinny might be doing a little bit of swindling coming up.
Should we kick things off?
Yeah, why not? Welcome everyone to the Chess League TV channel. It has been quite some time since I streamed anything, but I am glad to be doing the end of seasons review with my wonderful co-host, Something Pretentious. How are you, Something Pretentious?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to a chess stream. Been a while, and yeah, raring to go.
Just a quick comment. I am on a new audio setup, so please, if at any point the audio is not behaving well, just put something in the chat. I'll try and fix that, just so I can deliver a reasonable stream. Also, I hope you guys can't hear my air conditioner. I have my air conditioner blasting in the background.
I can hear it a little bit, but it's not so distracting.
You can? Alright, let me turn it off for now.
Okay. I didn't want to make you suffer with that.
SP volume higher. Yes, I can do that.
Oh, great.
I was
gonna say, I'm already talking pretty loud.
I'm gonna turn you up in Discord.
Hello, test.
No, I haven't done it yet.
AC is louder than me. Maybe it has more valuable things to say.
I turned the AC off. I think I'm gonna replace the AC with a fan. So give me 1 second.
Okay. The most professional streams from us. We're a little bit out of practice. We hope that you still enjoy. Oh, much better. Good. Yeah, I agree. I can. I agree on the AC. I assume I'm louder. Ooh, I don't know. It's probably got an engine in there somewhere, so pretty strong. The AC's ELO. No, we don't want Clark to suffer, but I'm sure he'll be okay. He's got a fan.
We're in business, boys.
Nice. Yeah, you sound crystal clear now.
Awesome. So let's get started with our lowest board game, which is a board 6 game between Gokuba and the ever famous Uncle Vinny in chat. Shout out to Uncle Vinny. Sorry, just took a sip of coffee. So this game went d4, d5, c4, c6. So right now we have a Slav defense. You play this for both colors, SP?
Yeah, I do indeed. I play a semi-Slav usually as black. But yeah, I'm reasonably familiar with this, so I can showcase my lack of theoretical knowledge.
Oh good, I'm really excited. That's one of the high point of our streams, especially whenever e4 hits the table.
Yeah.
So we have a normal position here, and then white goes g3, which isn't really a move. Because...
It's interesting.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I see it in the database quite a lot. And it's something I've played before, although not with a huge amount of success.
Isn't it in the database like very far behind knight c3 and e3 though?
Yeah, it's like a sixth choice, but there's still 800 games. So yeah, it's definitely a sideline.
Well, I think it's just a bad move, quite frankly, because black plays what appears to be the most natural move to me, which is d takes c4. And the point is white is basically committed to putting this bishop on g2, and so white is actually going to struggle to recapture this pawn on c4, especially because with the black pawn already on c6, black is ready to support the pawn on c4. So white is going to have to play on compensation really in this position. So that's
definitely a valid point.
My take on why I don't like this. I play this sort of way in the Catalan for black, where I'll just take c4 and like hold on to it for dear life. And I tend to like those positions for black. So I think this is not ideal for white.
Yeah, for sure. They've gone a bit off the rails and probably at least equalised, if not, I don't know, would you say black's better here?
I would say black is better. And not a lot better, but I think he is better.
Yeah, I do find that sometimes I'll get some sort of horrible pressure down this diagonal and I'll blunder something, but
well,
you play a bit wrong.
It tends to not work because just concretely, we'll look at this bishop g2, b5 as advertised, and to me what appears to be very critical for white is this move knight e5, right? Immediately putting pressure on this point, but after bishop b7, I don't see how you're winning anything, right? If you go a4, I'll just guard this bishop somehow, or I'll play a6. But I won't play a6. I'll guard the bishop. I'll play queen b6, I guess.
Sure. You could maybe argue there's some compensation that the white square bishop is not doing very much.
There's definitely compensation, but it's also a pawn. And I don't know about you, but I like pawns. I'm good with those.
Oh, you know I'm greedy.
The other thing is, after knight e5, I think you don't have to play bishop b7 because there are some problems with this knight getting like bamboozled. So like if I go e6, how do you want to take this c6 pawn?
I would take the knight.
Mm-hmm. And I'll go queen b6.
Okay. And if I suppose you're just going to trade off the white square bishops, is that your point?
So if you take on b8, I think I'm winning after bishop b7.
Castle?
I'm winning this knight. Wait, I'm counting wrong.
Trade.
Yeah, I'm counting wrong. I'm just dumb. But I actually still very much prefer black after this position. Oop, we got a little bit of robot pretentious there. Say that again.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying, once you've got the light square bishop traded off, your king's a bit sparsely defended.
Yeah, the white king looks weak, and black also has this like big majority on the queen side. So I think black actually has good play on both sides of the board here. I would just love to play black here.
Yeah, so maybe not wise to trade that. Get the pawn back.
Yeah, so after e6 takes queen b6, you can go back, but the same thing happens, ish.
It's still bad.
Yeah, it's still not great for white, exactly. So that's my whole point, is like if knight e5 isn't really playable in this position, then I think white's opening has been bad.
Yeah. Some questions from chat. Is this board 6? Yes, it is. There were some games from board 7 and 8, which just cheated. So yeah, we're starting at board 6.
You dropped a little bit there just to fill in. Yes, we only chose 6 games in this sort of historical fashion. So we the lowest board game that we chose was a board 6 game. Anyway, white castled here. Bishop b7, a4. This all looks pretty standard. Here black went a6. He didn't need to, but he did. I would have been tempted to play the move e6 here, probably. Just get on with my development. I'll only play a6 when you really force me to play a6, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wasted tempo at this stage.
I feel like that's something that I see a lot at lower level chess, is sort of like prematurely reacting to threats, which can be good because, you know, that's the whole concept of prophylaxis, but it's also like, is that really like the most pressing thing in the position? I'd rather make sure my king gets safe than defend against a threat that isn't present yet in the position.
Yeah, and it kind of links to getting move ordered in an opening. Like you're reacting to a feint. Like you're doing something on one side of the board that then just gives your opponent the chance to do something else somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I think it comes from this place of like, you know, this is a really common response to a4s. You play a6 to shore up the structure, but in this exact position, it's not really necessary.
Yeah, there's definitely a danger of doing things in autopilot.
For sure, for sure. But okay, a6 is not like some losing move, just I think it's a very slight inaccuracy. Bishop f4, which, okay, we're developing this bishop, but we're developing it, oh god, English. We're developing it to a square where it's just gonna get hit with tempo, right? So this is another thing that I always talk about, is when you make a move, ask yourself, what is my opponent's next move going to be? Because after bishop f4, black plays the extremely natural knight d5, just improving his knight, putting on a great square, and all of a sudden your bishop can't be on f4 anymore. So this was not a logical maneuver from the white player, for sure.
That being said, so my alternative here would be maybe something like rook e1, preparing e4. Because
Why not
the knight is defending
Why not knight c3?
Sorry, go on. So knight c3, do you just get hit with this?
Yes, and then knight b1.
Okay.
Well, my argument is that you've loosened your queenside structure here, and I'm not sure that's great for you. Like now my next move is maybe like queen c2.
Yeah, can you even defend that?
Actually, I can't play queen c2 because... Or no, that's not hanging. What am I talking about? Yeah, this is my point. The queenside structure all of a sudden has become very fragile.
I didn't want to play knight c3, but it's another good lesson of looking at actually, is there a follow-up to a threat?
Also,
is the resulting position actually?
Just saying hi to oh god, I'm not gonna pronounce this correctly.
Patrice.
Patrice in the chat. Welcome. So yeah, I think this would have been much preferable to bishop f4. Iago also mentioned the move knight e5, which is definitely possible, but again, probably well met by this queen b6 idea. Or, I don't know, can e6 be played? e6 is playable, although I will say it has the downside of when white takes here, you have to take with the a pawn because of this pin on the diagonal preventing c takes. So that's why I'm drawn to this move queen b6 to protect this, so that I can take like this and preserve my very nice queenside pawn structure. So yeah, knight e5 doesn't seem great to me. Bishop f4, knight d5, and here white takes on b8, which is unfortunate. I think white was very uncomfortable in this opening because he's suddenly ended up down a pawn when he didn't really want to. He's like not trying to play a gambit. And now he's giving away his bishop pair for really no compensation. Like, at some point, you just have to admit your mistake and, you know, put your bishop back on a safe square and at least keep your bishop. And go knight c3 next move. The position's not terrible, right? My next move is knight c3. Now b4 can even be met by knight e4. It's like, it's not so stupid of a move to just go back.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's difficult to do, changing your plan, because it feels like it's worse than sort of doubling down with the bishop trade. And it's another thing about about lower rated players, is they don't value the bishop pair as much, so it doesn't seem like a big deal to get rid of the bishop.
Is that true? I feel like, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like it's like sort of low mid rated players like really like overvalue the bishop pair because like they hear about it so much. You know what I mean?
It depends what people have been told. I know that I definitely didn't care about bishop pairs.
Okay, that's interesting. I feel like I over cared about bishop pairs and at some point still do over care about bishop pairs. SGIS, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, I see you around the league all the time. He asked, did I just drink mustard? No, that's my beautiful yellow water bottle. But okay, we give away our bishop pair for very little compensation. Knight c3 comes finally, that's good. And now b4, which I'm not convinced b4 is such a good move here.
Like, it has theoretical pedigree, but maybe not in this exact position.
The thing is, again, it's this queen side starts to become very weak. Like, first of all, my first question is, does white have a threat?
If anything, you're going to be repairing black structure.
I think white potentially has a threat in the future, right? So if white had the move knight e5 in already, there would be a threat. Like, say black plays something ridiculous, right? Knight e5. The threat all of a sudden is a takes b5. With the idea of black cannot take back with the c pawn because white can trade on d5 and a6 will hang.
Is that not defended twice? The
bishop
and the queen.
Yeah, but when I take on d5, black's gonna have to take with the bishop, and he'll be undefending the a6 pawn.
Right. Okay.
But right now that doesn't work because if white were to play a b5, I can go c b5, and if knight takes d5, there's queen takes d5. And and
Yeah, that all looks reasonable.
and there's no great discovery because any discovery would have to protect the g2 square, so you'd have to go like knight h4 or knight e1, which are obviously not very inspired moves.
Yeah. The other thing that I would look at in this position would be, again, e4.
Yes, absolutely.
Knight.
We lost.
So in some ways, it's nice to have not.
We lost you a little bit there. What was your plan after e4?
So something like this, getting into this square.
Oh, e4 instead of knight c3. You mean for white?
Whenever, really.
Yeah. It does make sense, but I agree. The knight ends up on this like really monstrous square. So perhaps not ideal in this exact position. Anyway, after knight c3, the point I'm making is I would play e6 and just be solid, get developed, and once I'm fully developed, maybe then I'll play b4 and think about going on these little adventures. But until then, I'm going to keep my structure very solid.
Yeah, this is quite a static advantage, and it's going to be so much stronger with both the rooks here, your king's safe, and just storm through.
Totally. Because after b4, all of a sudden, these pawns become, like, very weak, quite frankly. Knight e4, of course, the knight comes to a very good square. e6, very good. He needs to develop his pieces, but now queen c2. This is very similar to some of the lines we were looking at earlier, where this c4 pawn is just pretty indefensible. Hey Jesse, how's it going? Nice to see you here. And yeah, I mean, this is just very unpleasant. So black is going to lose his pawn, and black will have the bishop pair, but he's given up so many squares on the queen side that this bishop will be very bad, and his bishop pair isn't really going to count for very much, I don't think. Okay, so a5. A5 is an interesting idea. I think he's preparing to give the bishop some life on this diagonal. He's also just supporting his pawn here, although the pawn didn't really need support right now. Maybe I would just develop my bishop. That's a big thing that I guess. A theme I'm seeing here. I just want to develop my pieces.
Yeah, the trouble is, I guess if they're already considering trading off the bishop, if the knight's jumping into c5, a little bit of foreshadowing there, then they don't want to waste a tempo.
Okay, but here's the problem. White's just not going to go to c5 until the bishop moves. And as long as the bishop doesn't move, your king is sitting on e8.
Yeah, I'll not argue with that.
So I think at some point you just have to be like, okay, I'm going to lose this tempo, or else my king's going to be on e8 for the rest of the game, and I don't want that. I was briefly looking at some knight b6 lines, just because I keep thinking d4 is hanging. d4 is not hanging. What am I doing? Knight b6 is ridiculous. Knight b6, of course, immediately met by a5, and then the black position is even worse with this structure cemented like this. Actually, maybe that's why...
You could maybe play b3 there.
Knight b6, a5, b3?
Yeah.
You're spicy.
I think you're still losing it.
Yeah, I just go like this. Or to c1.
But now you can defend with the queen.
But your knight's hanging.
Yes, it is. Okay.
So
we give up the pawn.
Yeah. I figured out why the black player played a5. It's because if he goes like bishop e7, I think white just plays a5. And fixes this horrible structure on the queen side.
That is a happy bishop right there.
I know, right? This is some AlphaZero stuff going on. I'm about to take here, play knight c5 to cement this pawn here for forever, it's just going to be a total disaster. Can I show the player's game link / board number somewhere? Yes, let me quickly adjust my stream. That's actually a very good suggestion that I'll do. Ignore the board moving around.
Yeah, that's a comment from Assassin in White. Black's light square bishop is horrible. No way to enter the game without some kind of pawn stack. Yeah, exactly. It's just, that's exactly what we were just saying. It's just not doing anything. It's not even a good pawn. It's just worse.
So yeah, this move a5 from black actually makes a lot of sense. It's probably better than my suggestion of bishop e7, just securing at least some potential for the bishop, because if you allow white to play a5, the bishop never has any potential. Queen c4. Yeah, and white is just much, much better here due to this very backwards c6 pawn. Bishop e7, and as advertised, white goes knight c5. Do I really want to play this move? Do I want to trade this bishop off?
I'm not sure. I mean, other considerations, I guess you could jump the knight into e5 and pressure that c6 pawn.
Yeah, that was my first instinct, was to pile up on c6, but I guess he always has enough resources to defend, just like rook c8, queen b6, he'll always be defending. Because if black is forced to take this knight, then I like it very much, because we're trading off black's good bishop, we're leaving black still with this piece on the board. And the more material that comes off while this bishop remains on the board is just the more sad black becomes.
Yeah. In fact, you can imagine a situation with all the pieces off and the king can just walk in here.
Oh yeah.
And win the pawn.
I would be very tempted to play the move bishop a8 in this position.
Just to give the rooks some life? Are you planning on playing b3 maybe?
Well,
I suppose that just drops the pawn, but you could trade first.
So my problem is, if I allow knight b7, I'm hanging c6. I guess I can defend this pawn somehow with like queen c7. But like queen c7, knight e5, man, this is just terrible. Yeah, I mean these knights. I think you have to take this knight, which means black's position is really awful.
Spoiled for choice.
Okay, so takes, queen takes. Assassin in White was also suggesting to go knight e5 first, bring the rooks, and only then maybe knight c5 comes, because his point is really, what is black doing with his life in the meantime? Which also makes a lot of sense. Right? I'm going to force you to defend this a billion times.
Yeah, is there a risk of something like castles and f6 maybe?
Well, so first of all, I think you have to defend your c6 pawn. Right? Because if castles, I will take this and you don't have the pin.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can castle here, which means you're probably playing, I don't know, let's play queen c7, because let's play queen b6 actually. Although queen b6 has its own problems, because I'm not guarding this square, so I can't castle. Oh lord.
This is a tricky position to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think black is just strategically lost. No, knight e5 also looks very strong. Because my idea behind queen b6 is I want to play bishop a6, but it's just not happening. Okay, yeah, knight c5 in the game should also be good. Takes. Taking with the queen, very accurate, making sure that this pawn remains a target and not covering up the file with his pawn. That's very good. Queen b6. Again, as more material comes off, this bishop just becomes worse and worse. And now white goes knight e5. What do you think about this move, SP?
I would much rather play something like rook ac1.
Absolutely.
Just keeping that pressure.
Absolutely, I have exactly the same feeling. Because here, white is actually allowing what... Who is challenging me? Go away. White is actually allowing black to sort of close the file, and yeah, the ending's going to be terrible, don't get me wrong, but it's probably less terrible than just outright losing the c6 pawn, which I think you will if you just play this move, queen b6, rook a c1. Right, I mean, here I have everything that I want. Takes, rook comes here, knight e5, e4, it's just, it falls apart.
Yeah, it's one of those positions that kind of not quite plays itself, but you have a clear plan, and black has nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is just strategically lost. Gokuba is saying in chat that his idea is he was playing for a trap, which is that after which is actually exactly what happened in the game. After the queen trade, which makes a lot of sense for black, his main point is that black cannot castle, which black did in the game, because white has this fork knight d7. However, I will say I think this is a bit of hope chess, and the reason I say that is because allowing this pawn to come to c5, you're closing off a lot of your counterplay down the c file. So unless you have something very concrete, then it doesn't seem like it's such a strategically beneficial thing to you. So after knight e5, if black doesn't fall for this trap and plays a move like king e7, then it seems to me that white has given up part of his advantage by closing the c file.
Yeah, so Yago's saying knight c4 here.
Is it such a massive threat?
You can threaten the pawn, but then rook a8, and then if you get the knight into d6...
I will go bishop a6,
I
actually.
don't know.
No, bishop a6. This is okay for me. My bishop has found... I'm sorry, SP, you roboted there. What were you saying?
I'm wondering how strong the c5 pawn is, how stable it is. I don't see any way to attack it. So that knight is pretty decent.
I agree, but I would argue that this is an improvement over over the position where the rook landed on c5. Now,
I'd happily play either.
If this is an improvement, I agree, black's position was just atrocious. But I also potentially have an idea of just, take that bad boy.
Yeah, and then you've got the 3v2. Looks pretty nice.
I don't know about nice. I think I'm worse. But it's a playable position where I have ideas. Whereas in the other position we looked at, after rook c1, black just never had any ideas. White was having all the fun. So this seems like hope chess, this knight e5. You're hoping your opponent will castle into your tactic, which sometimes it pays off, but if we want to improve and move up to like the higher echelons, we need to start beating better people who aren't going to fall for these sorts of things. Okay, so as we saw in the game, Black did blunder this tactic with knight d7, after which Black is simply lost, because now not only does he have a bad position, but he's also down an exchange. So this is a very interesting moment, and I think a very instructive moment. White has a totally winning position, and yet White did not win this game. And I feel like this is an experience that players of all ratings, quite frankly, have, where you get these winning positions and you don't win the game. And all the chess books go like, oh, it's just technique. But it turns out most people don't have very good technique. So we're going to talk about how to better work on converting these winning positions, because this is totally winning and White did not win.
Yeah, it's that classic chess saying of, I was winning.
Yeah, I know, right?
But you have to win.
You have to win, exactly. And that's why, I'll resign like queen versus king, but I really won't resign before that, because people do crazy things sometimes and don't win these positions. So let's see what happened. Rook d1, this looks like a good start. We're putting our rook on a nice open file. f5, I guess Black is trying to cement or prevent e4, right? Is this idea?
Yeah, definitely.
What was that? Sorry, my guitar pick fell off my table. One second.
And it's fun.
Little robot, what'd you say?
I was saying that Uncle Vinny was strongly considering resigning, and Gokuba says, "Damn it, I wish you did." And it's
we lost you at the end there.
Your opponent always has opportunities to lose.
Oh yeah, 100%. The chat is pointing out that f5 does not prevent e4, which yes, I'm aware, but I'm just trying to justify why we're playing f5. Because White did play e4 here, which is extremely strong. So here, White is playing very well. The point behind e4 is you're either going to destabilize the knight, or you're going to give Black a weakness on e6. So this is very strong from the White player. Currently, he's converting his position very well. F takes bishop.
I do actually.
Oh yes.
I do actually like f3 in this position, because then you're going to keep a pawn on e4 after playing e4, and then you're really kicking that knight.
That's interesting. That's probably not a move I would consider, but maybe it's just very good. Although, are you at all worried about this? Probably not, right? You're not worried at all.
Take my bishop, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, that would just be awful. Yeah, f3.
So Jesse's saying it looks ugly, but you're going to be playing e4. There's no way to stop e4. So the bishop does get life again.
Yeah, no, I think this is also strong. I think e4 is also very strong though, so both moves probably very good. Olivin says he's a master troll. Lovely to have you. g6. I guess he wants to go king f7, but the h7 is hanging. Although, if I go king f7, is h7 hanging?
That looks like a trap.
That looks like a trap to me as well. I think you can just play king f7 here, because this is a classic end game, or even middle game idea where the bishop goes grabbing, but then is a little sad he went grabbing, and this looks like a piece. Oh, maybe it's not a piece.
Yeah, or what Iago was suggesting was, but then you can swing the rook across.
Yeah, rook e1, I'm going rook h8, and then although he'll take and win pawns.
Or rook e8.
Oh, rook e8. Um. Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's. Well, does that work? Rook e1, rook e8, rook e4?
And then bishop
Yeah.
e8 or just
Yeah, I was gonna do this, but I'm giving away material for absolutely no reason. So yeah, this looks like a trap. Yeah, so king f7 playable, but g6, okay, I mean, black is lost, so it's hard to really make comments on his moves. White goes rook e1, this makes sense. He's going to target the weakness he's created, especially because with this knight on d5, there's not really any action happening on the d file, so rook e1 makes a lot of sense. King f7, bishop c2. Okay, now we have ideas like this sort of thing. So I like what's going on. Bishop a6. And now rook a d1. And here is where I think it starts to go wrong a little bit. So when you have these winning positions, the number one thing to pay attention to is your opponent's counterplay, right? We never want to allow our opponent's counterplay. We want to have a very constricting feeling on the position. So something pretentious. Where is black's counterplay going to come from in this position? Oh no, robot.
Oh no. I thought you were saying oh no because of my plan. I think we can play on the queen side with something like b3.
Yeah.
Not in a great structure.
No, b3 is absolutely counterplay because it allows me to actually activate the rook via b4. Otherwise, the rook is really not activating at any point. So black's counterplay is coming through b3 and rook b4. So after this move, bishop a6, black is preparing his counterplay with b3. White should really stop this counterplay. This is the key point when you're trying to win winning positions, is prevent all of your opponent's counterplay. Boom. Let's go here.
Yes, and that's a lot better than b3, because b3 is going to give up that c3 square for the knight.
Oh yes, absolutely. Playing the move pawn to b3. First of all, you're making your bishop a little bit worse, and like something pretentious said, you're giving up a nice square for the knight. Although I think this is preferable than allowing black to play pawn b3. So bishop b3 is clearly the strongest here. But after rook a d1, black starts to find his counterplay, and to his credit, black found a way to play active and fight for the draw. So b3, bishop d3. Okay, white is trading the light square bishops, which I don't say I love it, but also black's light square bishop has the potential to not be bad anymore, so maybe it's important. Like, say I go bishop b1. That's probably a dumb move, right?
Can you play something like... Actually, no. I was thinking of moving the knight, but that's going to give all sorts of rook entry.
No, I think black goes rook b4.
And then rook e4.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't considered that. Maybe bishop b1 is a better move than I thought. I missed this idea. This is a very strong idea. My instinct tells me I want to play this, but I'm gonna regret this.
You don't.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna regret. This is kind of a funny picture with all these rooks stacking on the fourth rank here. Yeah, I guess bishop b1 is a better move than trading the bishops. Just because even though the bishop has come to a6, it still needs some work to like end up being a reasonable piece. Like, you need to get it here if you want it to do anything. But whenever you move the knight, there's like a rook showing up here or here. It's so hard to activate this bishop. Hey Blitz dude, nice to have you on the stream. Okay, so I would keep this light square bishop just because the black light square bishop is very bad. And now rook b4, and black has counterplay. Hello, Blinky and Clyde. Nice to have you, nice to have you. So yeah, black has very real counterplay here. And it's... white's still winning, but it's not as easy as it was before. Both sides play some natural moves. The king comes to f3. And now we trade pawns. And rook c4. Here's where we start getting to the meat and the potatoes of this conversion going bad. Something pretentious. When you are trying to convert a winning position, what do you want to trade off the board?
Oh, these questions always put me in a panic. You want to trade off the pieces?
Do you want to trade off the pawns? Oh no, he did. Sorry, your sound's not coming through.
You know what? Let me change microphone.
Okay. I will take this one for SB. Yeah, you should not be trading pawns as much as possible in this position. So I think this is really where a lot of the conversions started going wrong, because black is managing to trade off a lot of pawns, and we're going to see black keeps on trading pawns. So this is, as black trades more and more pawns, it becomes more and more like a draw. Blitz dude, do I play against viewers? I possibly can. Right now we're doing a review stream for the Lichess 45-45 league, so I won't be playing against viewers right now. We're analyzing games that from the season. So here already black is winning a pawn here. Some pawns are being exchanged on the queen side. Hello. Oh god. Sorry, my speaker just blew out. Give me 1 second. Classic sound issues. 1 second, everyone. Oh, you're too loud. I need to turn you down. That's what's happening. I turned him up for the last speaker, and it's blowing up my, or it's blowing out my Bluetooth speaker down.
This.
God, come on. Sorry, everyone, just a few sound issues here. Say something pretentious? You there? I heard static.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I just had to turn you way down because you were blowing out my Bluetooth. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry. It's good as long as we don't have any robot pretentious. That's a big improvement.
It might just be my connection that was doing that, but we'll see.
We'll see. So far, it's looking good. So here, White, I think, played correctly. He activates the rook. Rook b7 check. King f6. Rook a1. Everything makes sense. Rook a7. We're trying to hunt down this pawn. But again, rook b5. All of a sudden, Black is threatening to trade another pair of pawns. So Black is making progress on exchanging all the pawns, which is what he wants. I don't know, is there a way to prevent this exchange? Not really, right?
You could defend with something passive like rook a2.
Yeah, but I'm just worried about this.
Then you can trade.
Oh yeah, now I have this. Yeah, I think rook a2 is actually a very good move, because after rook a2, my next move is rook 7 takes a5, and I'm not trading away this b2 pawn.
Yeah, so no rush.
He has this though.
Is that a threat?
Well, so my point is this. Oh, did you want to go to f4?
If we pin?
Ooh. Fancy. They call him fancy pretentious.
And then you're pretty tied up there. Rook b7.
Yeah, that's a good move. Although c5,
and you just take the pawn. You win 2 pawns for it.
This is not so clear. I don't. Oh, it is clear. I thought I had this, but I don't.
Yeah, you're still pinned.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a better way to play. Just denying the trade of the pawns here. Again, I just want to maintain material on the board, and specifically, I want to maintain pawns on the board. So that's how I come up with this move, rook a2, with the idea of I'll take this next move and not allow an exchange of pawns. So again, this is how I would play here. Oh, this is not the line, sorry. After rook b5, White took right away, but again, he's allowing more material to come off the board. This is not what we want. Oh, a tactic is being pointed out, which I should not have missed. This is poor form from me. Check, knight b4, rook b7, c5 takes. Here, instead of going knight d3 right away, there's this one.
That's nice.
And this, it may be winning for White, but it's really not what you want. The pawns have become extremely limited. King e3, say. Probably king f3. There's only 2 pawns. Like, one of them's a rook pawn. This is going to be very difficult to win. So this is indeed a tactic that I missed, that I really should not be missing, especially when I see this knight d3 idea. So maybe rook a2 is not the most brilliant or optimal of lines. Maybe you have to take. If so, again, more material is getting traded off. I'm not happy. Where was this line? Rook b3 check. Does the line change if I go to a different square, like e4?
I was looking at this. I do prefer it.
It does, right? This is a different ball game. But what if Black checks me for forever? I guess he can't. I'll run to c2.
Yeah, and then you're really screwed. I suppose then you switch over to
yeah, rook f3, right? It's not so clear. It's kind of annoying. So the point is, if the same thing happens, this is no, this doesn't work at all because there's this check here. Does that work? No, it doesn't. This is funny. So check. If you want to win material, you have to attack the rook, right? So king here, and then there's rook f2 again.
Yeah.
Assassin White also points out after rook takes f2, this is not required capturing. But here, if you go king g1, I think I have... No, I don't have rook f5.
No, then you trade with check, yeah.
I guess you have to go knight d3. But...
Ooh, that looks...
Yeah, position's loose.
No, because now you've got like rook c3 or something.
It's funny, the evaluation of rook a2 hinges on this line. But this is probably lost for black.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, the position is too loose. Okay, so rook a2 works, but you know, there's a lot of calculation that needed to back that up. So I can understand not going for this, especially if you if you see this rook b3 stuff and you realize like there's some funny business happening. I can understand not wanting to play this, but objectively it seems to be very good. Takes rook c5. Okay, white is trying to win his material back. Is it more? No, that's a dumb question. Never mind. Rook a7. Should I go here rook c1 and just totally tie you down to the defense of this pawn?
I don't really see a good reason not to do that.
Yeah, it just feels like I really paralyze the black position if I do this.
And if you want to walk your king over, then the white king's coming in.
Yeah, like, so first of all, you have to put this knight. Do you put it on the b4 square? That seems risky.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I don't see any immediate punishment. Oh no, you can pin again.
Yeah, there's some problem here, right?
Yeah, so you have to drop back.
So already I force your knight to some like stupid passive square. And now I just... Is this like a zugzwang? It looks close.
You've got rook a6.
Okay, you can wait.
But then I'm going to play maybe f3, g4.
I never loved the f3, g4 ideas just because you're trading so many pawns.
So it is trading, but the point is then you're going to play g5 check and you're going to get some entry.
Yeah, it's probably good. Gokuba suggests rook b3 here. It's possible, but I don't see what you're really accomplishing if I go for this plan that has been mentioned. There's this.
So if you throw,
there's this check.
Oh, that's scary.
But how scary is it?
But I was thinking.
Just f3. You can check. I have this square. I'm not so scared.
Is that? Oh yeah, I suppose that's almost mate, but not quite.
I have a block on the fourth.
Yeah, I was looking at rook e3 check.
Yeah, I give up f3 there though. Yeah, this is not what I want. Okay, let me. So rooks. Oh, sorry, I went back too far. Oh no, not. Rook c1.
Also, just to answer Yago's question of rook b4 check and back, I think there you just block with the rook, and if you trade rooks, you're happy as white.
Okay, let me be more accurate and put the king here. Actually, I have an idea. What if I gang up on your e6 pawn all of a sudden?
How are you doing that?
Like this?
Okay, that's not threatening anything yet.
I know, but I will.
And if you're planning rook e5, then I can just play knight d5.
And then
instead.
Knight d5 here?
Yeah.
That's annoying. I wish you wouldn't. It's already surprisingly annoying to make progress. Yeah, I think you have to go for f3, g4 at some point. So maybe just play a waiting move, like this. No, but I'm running into the same business. It's so annoying.
Your voice is cut out a bit for me. I don't know if it's the same.
No, I'm not even saying anything. I'm just thinking.
Oh.
Yeah, it's already difficult. Just because black is like sort of holding his own, the white king needs to start playing. Maybe I would just play this and then like sort of march the king over to the queen side and just say I have everything cemented. This is probably how I would play.
Dargo is saying I'd be interested in getting a rook to the 7th here. Yeah, that seems.
In the game,
reasonable.
white got this rook a7, but I'm not sure how
It's
much
a threat, though.
that improves things. Because after knight e7, sort of the same thing arises. Or okay, white went here, but like again, it's not clear exactly what I start to threaten after this. Although this might be a better version, because well, but the rook can just go again, something like this.
Yeah, and now you can't even block.
So yeah, it's not clear exactly what I threaten with this rook on the 7th.
Rook c7.
Yago has this idea. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Do you just move? Oh, it's almost mate though, isn't it?
Well, but you do have to deal with these checks a little bit.
Yeah, you could play something like e5 even.
Well, e5 you're weakening a lot. I think e5 is an accomplishment for white. But maybe this is a good try for white. I think rook a4 is also interesting, but yeah, maybe this double on the 7th works. Let's examine this. So I give this check. Where are you going? G2, right? Oh, you're stepping up? Huh. Okay, but
I don't know, maybe you just.
I do this.
Yeah, we're just repeating. You've even got to check them. Yeah, this looks uncomfortable.
I think the king has to go to g2 if you want to play on. So check king g2.
Oh, that's so sad though.
Well, but okay, this doubling these rooks might be strong. So king g2. Also, black has to like.
Gotta get back.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to defend that because our knight's defending it.
Yeah, I suppose.
So say I just wait. I wait here. And now I should guard this in preparation of moving my knight.
We actually just move the knight first.
No, because then c6 gets taken.
Yeah.
Knight e3 is nothing.
Sorry?
Knight e3 is nothing.
Yeah, I actually thought the knight was going to land here or here because I misvisualized.
No worries.
So I thought we were going to have an attack.
Yeah, so I go rook c2, rook a7, and now knight d5. And yeah, you have two rooks on the 7th, but are you winning? Yeah. Ooh, you might be winning. That's a problem. Yeah, that'll win. Okay, this is a good winning plan. Double on the 7th. Yeah, this is just totally winning. Actually, here, what's this? It's losing.
Yeah, you can't actually.
No, just oh, I can't play f3. Awkward. I have an idea. Let's do this.
Ahaha, that's cute. That's really cute.
And I'm just gonna redouble on the other 5. Yeah, but then I take.
Oh, right, yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, this wins. The good winning plan is to double on the 7th. Not an easy plan to find. We struggled a lot, and to be honest, we didn't find this plan. So I think the big mistakes in this conversion have come earlier, and already white has to find some accurate ways to play in order to press the advantage. Rook a4, knight d5. Here we go g4. This is, again, not in the correct spirit. If we are going to trade these pawns, it has to be so that the f pawn can take on g4, and then we have ideas like g5, h5, the pawns are working together. After g4, we're trading a pair of pawns, and we've shattered our own structure. The king did move up.
Just a trade.
Say again.
Oh, I forgot this rook was covering, so I was thinking throw in this check.
Oh yeah, but you're not. Well, knight f4, but not knight f4. What am I talking about? Yeah, you're not winning anything here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're trading, but again, we've worsened our structure, we've worsened our position, and black just waits. Check. The knight comes to another nice square. And h5, we trade another set of pawns. So again, I mean, I think here it's already difficult to win, but after h5, I really doubt we're winning this position. There's just too many pawns.
Yeah, it's kind of a theme.
The king has come in, but how does the king make any more progress?
Yeah, I mean, you're almost self-mating there. I assume Gokuba was not aware that, or was not thinking about the fact that trading off the pawns is going to lower your chances of winning the endgame.
Totally agree. Although I will say, this move king e7 from black, I'm not sure this is a great move, because you're allowing the white king to at least progress. I would just be waiting here and asking white to improve the position somehow, which I don't think he can. Although, can he like bring rooks here?
I kind of want to play e5 as black.
Maybe you can. Maybe your position is just good enough, or solid enough that you can start to play for pushing pawns. But yeah, okay, king e7. I would probably be snap playing king g6 here as white. But this is actually also interesting because the knight no longer has this e7 square, but the king has come to guard this pawn. And
Knight was also pinned. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
I can't see colors.
I was like, am I crazy? No, but the knight has no way to guard, but the king has come, so now black is very solidly guarding all his pawns, and white just can't really press anymore, I don't think. King g4, knight e7, f4. Black offers the trade of rooks, which will really just end the game on the spot, and white cannot decline because this rook has unfortunately gotten itself trapped on this rank, which means that rooks come off by force, and therefore black just has an instant draw.
What you could do instead, though, is play something like rook g5.
That's interesting.
And then you get a passer.
Yeah, so something pretentious is suggesting if black wants to trade the rooks, then you force him to sort of trade on your terms, where you actually create this passed pawn, which would be slightly more challenging to defend against. However, I think in this case, black simply doesn't trade. He plays some other move, like I don't know, rook d5 or something.
Yeah, I mean it's still probably drawn.
Yeah, I think it's definitely drawn. But here, the white player took on b5, after which black is drawing very easily. Rook e4, knight d5, king f3, d4, rook e2, knight c3, and here I have to assume that the white player was in severe time pressure, but Really, even that's
Under
not
2 minutes.
Even that's not really an excuse when you have a 45-second increment. These are the sort of game-losing mistakes that, as the name might suggest, simply lose games. White plays king e3, which just loses on the spot. It goes back to, you make a move, you have to ask yourself, what is your opponent going to do? Well, they're going to take your rook, right? So this is just a blunder, not much to say. And here, white loses the game. After king e3, e5, white resigns, and black has managed to turn a loss into a win due to some good fighting spirit and some slightly poor technique from the white player. So, a really excellent game from both players. I thought there was a lot of instructional value, and I was really happy to have this one nominated.
And in true review style for this league, we are over an hour for the first game.
Oh, are we really? All right, let's speed up. Well, part of that was like me getting a fan and me fixing my sound.
Yeah, about 5 minutes of it was fixing things. Okay. But
Next up,
let's look at the next game.
We have Brund versus Rossensweinet. I assume I'm pronouncing that with the correct German accent. This is a board 5 game, and I thought this game was super interesting. Some really nice tactics coming in this game. So I was very happy to review this game. Jesse HF saying, never resign, always play till mate. I agree with that. Some people will give you flack for that and say, like, come on, I'm lost, but or I'm winning, but make them prove it. Make them prove it. I agree with that. Here we have Sicilian Khan Alapin. Your favorite.
Oh yeah, rolls off the tongue.
No, this is just an Alapin where white will be aiming to play d4 and control a large center. And here black plays a somewhat rare move, which is knight c6. The most common move here is either d5 or knight f6. I think d5 makes a lot of sense because white has played c3, which means he can no longer play knight c3. So you can really secure this pawn on d5. So d5 makes a lot of sense. Knight f6 is also fine with sort of a semi-Aliekin defense. But white has already played c2, c3, so he's likely not going to put a pawn on c4, or if he does, he will be committing to a loss of a tempo, and black also has some control over d4. So these are the two main moves, but knight c6 played, which is a little bit strange. I don't know, do you know anything about this, something pretentious?
Guess if I know anything about this.
No, you don't. Okay, why did I ask?
I do not.
Here, I would play d4 because
yeah, I mean, that's the plan, and you haven't been stopped, so you do it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this move, bishop b5. It's like, but it's sort of like I'm playing an Alapin, but just kidding. Now I'm playing a Rosalimo. So it feels like white is slightly mixing and matching his plans. Again, I don't think it's a bad move, but it feels slightly inconsistent what the white player is doing. Okay, a6, this is sensible, takes, and here black sort of astounded me by taking with the d-pawn, which just looks really wrong to me. So, something pretentious, can you explain to us why taking with the d-pawn seems wrong here?
So, apparently you said there were 3 things. I've only noticed 2 so far.
I think it was 2. I think I was exaggerating.
Okay. Phew. So the main one, I would say, is that if you take this way, then you're supporting the d5 push, which is what you want to get in pretty much all Sicilians. Whereas if you take this way, I mean, you have no d-pawn, so you're definitely not playing d5. The other point is that this bishop is now terrible.
Agreed.
Forever.
Actually, the bishop isn't what I was thinking of, but I think that's a good point. I don't think the bishop is necessarily terrible forever.
Okay, for a long time.
Just because, black can, like, slowly expand the queen side. But, yeah, so I think the number one point is that with the pawn on c3, black is almost always going for a very quick d5, and once you take with the d pawn, like somebody potentially said, you're never playing d5. The chat is saying if the pawn were already on e5, d takes c6 would be perfectly fine. I agree with that, because if the pawn's on e5, you're clearly not playing for d5, and you have more mobility for the bishop. But in this position, like we said, it seems logical to play for d5, and there's this problem here. The other thing is, I really don't like the queenside structure with the pawn on a6. I think this structure makes a lot more sense with the pawn on a7, because the queenside structure feels very, very loose here. You're always going to have some weakness on the queenside.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have picked that out as something. I didn't, in fact, pick that out as something that's a problem. I mean, I wouldn't have played a6 anyway, but...
You wouldn't play a6? What would you play here?
E5 anyway.
Yeah, you can probably play d5. I think someone in the chat also mentioned a setup with knight on g to e7, with the idea of recapturing on c6 with the knight. So I think there are definite alternatives to a6. Here, position is just not great. White castled. Black would really love to be able to make this e5 move, but it's just not gonna work here, because I take it, and unfortunately you don't have any tricks here. Like, you'd love to like play queen e7 and win this back, but even here I just go knight f3 if I want, and say, please have my e4 pawn, if you so want. So black is not getting e5 in, which means his structure just makes no sense. Bishop d6, and so black is saying, I really want to play e5. So white says, no, 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 you never play e5. This is an excellent move. Welcome, Game Per Frame. Nice to have you here. So yeah, e5, slam it on the board. Bishop c7. I don't know if I would play bishop c7 here, to be quite honest. I might go back to e7.
Yeah, I mean, neither diagonal looks particularly nice. If you go to e7 and block the knight...
Yeah, that's the thing, right? The knight ends up with literally nowhere to develop. But the problem with going to c7 is the king. Your king gets so weak. Right? It's just like, I have this monster pawn on e5, so nobody's ever going to come to the defense of the king. Like, there's not going to be a knight on f6. This bishop has wandered away. This bishop is never contributing. This rook is never contributing. Like, I'm worried about the black king when the bishop goes to c7.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to go all the way back to f8?
No, I want to go to e7, but then, like you said, the knight doesn't develop. Yeah, I think it's already a very difficult position for black.
Yeah, and e5 is a really nice move from white.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to bishop f8, but if I'm playing bishop f8, what that tells me is that here the move bishop d6 is just like basically a blunder.
Yeah, so Assassin in White's saying maybe c4 instead of bishop d6, which I like, because it's stopping, well, it's stopping d4.
Is it?
Well, you can take en passant.
Yeah, but what if I go b3?
I mean, at least you've got somewhere for your bishop now. Trade, play bishop c5, then drop it back to, like, a7.
You're trading here?
Sure.
No.
I mean, that's a nice center, but...
This is terrible.
It's better than it was.
Is it? I think this is just atrocious.
Okay.
I think after c4, I hate to say it. I think after c4 b3, the move is b5. Well,
That's gonna be a nice structure. Just take.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
I might rescind what I just said. This looks really awful.
Yeah, it's harder than you think, isn't it?
Yeah, no, this is. Position is just really bad already. It has to do with this recapture, man. This recapture just totally like destroyed the black position. Maybe you go knight f6. Maybe that's the best move.
Yeah. Okay, and then it's like slow roll it with d3.
Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah, this is not happy times for. Although d3, do I have this all of a sudden?
Can you play e5?
Oh yeah, you can. That's just terrible. Never mind. That's bad. I agree. Game per frame accepting. What am I saying? Game per frame suggesting also knight e7 in this position, which is probably better, not walking into these tempos. And the knight can come to g6, where at least it'll be securing the king side a little bit. Play like bishop e7 and just get developed and be solid. It will walk into this h4, h5 potentially, but that will take at least some time from the white player. Okay, but I think we can all agree that bishop d6 is not the move, and here white is just cruising. Here white went d3. I think there's a lot of very powerful options here. d4 also looks like a good option to me.
Yeah, I can see why white didn't play it, but I do quite like it.
I think d3 is also a good move.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out this option where black has a hard time arranging c5, which means that he has a hard time cracking down on this white center. For instance, if bishop b6, I can just go like bishop e3, and you're still not quite ready to play c5, so in the meantime, I go knight c3, knight e4, knight d6, knight g5. You know, things are happening on the king side over here.
Yeah, that's not a happy king.
Yeah, really. So, d3 definitely playable. Assassin White saying another game with a horrible light square bishop. That does seem to be a theme. Game per frame also suggesting. I think he's suggesting c4 for white. I'm not quite understanding what he's saying there. He wants c4 here.
I don't know. I mean, oh yeah, he's saying yeah, c4 for white.
Oh, so
you're completely stopping black.
Oh, so he's worried that after d3, black will go c4.
Oh, but then d4.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about this. Yeah, I think this is just excellent for white. I don't see why this would be a problem. With the same ideas, you know, bishop comes to e3. I think this is just excellent for white as well. Alright, but I think it's the same thing where black really struggles to concretely play c5. So I think white is just doing very well. Bishop c7, d3, b5. This makes me sad. The reason this makes me sad, I get why he's playing b5. He wants this bishop to partake in the game. But there's two problems with this move b5. First of all, you didn't develop your king side. So, you know, bad things might happen over here. But second of all, you've severely weakened your queenside structure, and namely, This c5 pawn. Like, how are you defending this thing? Do you have any ideas how you defend this pawn? I literally, like, I'm at a loss for this one.
How are you attacking it?
Bishop e3.
Okay, so either bishop b6.
Knight d2.
Then you can just push, maybe. It doesn't look good, actually, no.
No, then, yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible.
Oh, I'm hanging my
Yeah.
d3 pawn, I'm realizing.
Ooh.
But it might just be good for me anyway. Right, if you take, I go knight d3. And I might just have a good position.
Yeah, then you're gonna...
I'm gonna cement
Yeah,
something on
that's
c5.
This doesn't look good for black still.
But I don't think I have to play in such a way where I allow this counterplay. Maybe I start with the move queen e2, go knight d2 to e4.
Yeah, it's difficult to hold that. Although I'm not even sure that that's white's best attack. Like, who cares about pawn?
Say again, sorry.
I'm not even sure that that's white's best plan. It's
Yeah,
winning a pawn when the king is not castled, it's not developed, the knight is going nowhere great.
I think, well, if I can get everything in, I think I would play this way, because even though the king is uncastled, like, I'm winning a pawn, but also because I secure the c5 point, the bishop will just be bad for forever. The chat, Game Per Frame and Assassin White are also suggesting playing c4 at some point here. Maybe I should. This is just my like King's Indian attack instincts here. I like this move queen e2 before c4, just keeping the queens on. And yeah, this is just a total shit show. No, black's position doesn't make any sense here. Okay.
I'm glad we let up on the game though.
Say again.
I'm glad we're going a lot faster on this game. Only half an hour in.
Oh yeah. It's been half an hour on this game? No, we started at 11:10. Don't lie to me.
Okay.
Bishop g5, knight e7. Yeah, you kind of have to. Can you play f6?
Do you want to play f6?
It might be better than knight e7.
Where's your king gonna go? If I just take that.
Somewhere.
Because then you've got either an isolated pawn or a wrecked kingside.
I'm taking with the g pawn.
Okay.
I
I fear for your king.
I'm taking with the g pawn. I'm putting my king on f7. This is like something I do in the French a lot.
Yeah.
I don't argue that it's always great, but it seems to have at least some more dynamic potential for black. Whereas after knight e7, like black, his position just seems really bad. Right, like here, take. This bishop needs to go. But there's bishop e3.
No. You just... Wait. Oh, you could play that. I was just going to get to h4.
Is h4 so promising though?
Something like rook e1.
No, so okay, I do what I said I would.
Okay, still rook e1.
Yeah, you don't have a threat. So
I do.
What's your threat?
Oh, no, I don't. I was going to play knight
Knight
e5 check.
Can you still do that?
It's
Oh,
not
no,
really
you can't.
a threat.
My next move is knight g6. I feel like I have potential.
Yeah.
Like, here...
I really want to move my knight and play queen h5 check, then your knight just blocks anyway.
Yeah, here, like, this is the sort of position where, like, as black, I can play things and have ideas. Whereas, if I don't do anything like this, or if I don't contest the center, I'm just not going to have any ideas at any point in the game. Assassin White also saying after f6, he does not want to take. He'd rather play this move. That's probably a better move, to be honest. Just cementing the e5 point and really fighting for that center. And if black takes, that's not really what black wants.
And now you are threatening to take f6.
Why?
So rubbish move. Can't take here.
No, I take with the pawn. gf6.
Does this not drop anything? Really?
Not immediately. Well, I wish my bishop were on c8, but yes.
Okay, well I'm going to play something like this.
Yeah, look, you have a better position, but I have, like, dynamic potential here.
Okay. I'll bow to your potential.
Yeah, so here, I just want to get developed somehow. Like, say I go knight e7, and I'll play this. Yeah, this is interesting. I think this is what black should be doing. I think his position is sort of critical already, and he needs to be really actively fighting for piece activity, and this seems to be the way to do it, to break down the white center and the e5 pawn. So I would play f6 here, and as such, it makes me think that bishop g5 isn't a great move. But black played knight e7, white's just playing very natural moves. h6, and here, black castled, which to me seems like he's asking for it a little bit here.
Yeah, I would describe that move as brave.
Again, I want to fight for control here. Like, I want to go something like g5 and knight g6. And
g5, would you sack that?
You can. I don't know if it's any good. It shouldn't be good when the king's still on e8. Like, how are you putting more pressure on this? Go rook g8.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't go that way.
Why? Do you have a threat? Or no, let me. That's a terrible move. Let me play queen d5.
I really want to have a threat. Okay, maybe I don't.
I think black is doing
a shame.
Okay here. I don't think you can sack. So I think again, black needs to be fighting for like squares and for activity. Again, this seems like another way to do it. Or even I played knight g6. Maybe the knight goes to f5 and takes the dark square bishop, and all of a sudden, if I double your pawns, maybe I can attack on the king side someday. It just seems like black starts to have.
Or don't even take.
Yeah, right. Black starts to have some potential here.
Yeah, this looks good. Maybe you can even. Would you castle queenside?
I think it's gonna be hard to arrange that. I think my king's going to f8 probably.
Yeah, I really want to get my other rook involved, but
I don't see where that light square bishop goes.
Just put it on b7 and pretend it's a defender.
I know, right? That's my b7 pawn over there. And maybe that's not a bad idea, but it takes a couple moves. I like this for black. I think black is starting to fight for play here. Game per frame, why can't you go bishop b7, queen d7, and queenside castle? You can. It seems like it takes a lot of time, but maybe black has the time to do that. For me, I'm looking for more like caveman approaches, but that's just because I'm a caveman. That doesn't mean that it's the right way to play. Anyway, after castles, this just seems like black is really asking for the beat down here. Knight d2. You want that pawn on d3? Show me. I don't know.
Doesn't it just drop the knight?
Oh, it does. That's why. I'm done. Rook e8. I didn't know why. I was asking you. Knight e4.
Okay, well, I'm glad I realized.
And now, yeah, black has some issues. Like, hey, c5 is hanging. Knight is landing on d6. Knight is landing on f6 potentially. It's like, yeesh. Queen d5. Queen d2. I like this move. Is c4 also playable again in this position?
Six.
Yeah.
Six. Take with the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly deactivated. You could just drop back to d5 maybe.
Yeah, but then knight takes c5. Like, position's very unpleasant, it looks like. Yeah, I think it's playable, but I also like queen d2. White's playing for the attack. What are you, my cat is attacking my leg. Stop it, cat. Knight g6. Okay, the knight comes to a better square, but why is this not f5? Ow, stop. Buddy, chill. Why is this knight not going to f5?
It seems like a better choice.
Is he worried about g4 at some point?
But then you just take the bishop, right?
Yeah. What is he worried about? I feel dumb. I must be missing something.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. Knight g6. And here, white went in the tank and found an interesting continuation. So, this is going to be our first puzzle of the day. What would you play as white here?
Have you ever seen the British show Countdown?
Countdown?
Yeah, it's like a word game quiz show where they choose some letters and have to come up with the longest anagram that they can.
Ooh,
but essentially there's a massive clock.
I think I have seen this. I like those sorts of shows. Yago suggesting knight f6, Blinky and Clyde suggesting bishop f6, Jupiter64 Crimson saying knight f6.
Basically there's a 30-second clock timer that has some...
Oh, we're putting a clock on the chat?
Yeah, 30 seconds to find the tactic, if there is one.
Maybe not, you never know.
Knight f6, g takes f6, bishop takes f6.
The only British show that I watch is The Great British Bake Off. With our Lord and Savior, Mary Berry.
I think she probably prefer Lady than Lord, but you never know.
Fair enough. Our Lady and Savior, Mary Berry. If you haven't watched Greatest British Bake Off,
I've seen it a bit. I'm not a huge fan. Overhyped.
Game per frame with background suggestions, I appreciate it. I'll definitely consider that. I'm not going to do anything midstream, but thank you for the feedback. So,
right.
It looks like I've given you guys enough time. The correct continuation here, and the continuation played in the game, is indeed the move knight f6 check. Yeah, Mary Berry did quit a couple seasons ago. Very sad. But you have to be accurate in your follow-up. So this is a fork of the king and queen, which means it must be taken. But as Number Man says, the next move here has to be queen takes h6. Because the white player in the game played bishop takes f6. But this allows defense of the h6 point, which means the queen is not arriving in the attack. So, here, after queen takes h6, white just wins. You cannot prevent a pawn or a bishop landing on f6 with just mate. So, this was a miss from the white player. He found this creative idea. No, but this just doesn't work. A bishop's landing on f6.
Yeah.
No, they're actually... If knight takes h4, Oh, this I actually didn't consider. With knight f5 coming.
The pawn?
No, but knight f5.
Okay, knight f5 then here.
Oh yeah, that's a problem. I didn't consider this. I think... Can you take on h4 as well? No, you can't actually, because if you take on h4, then bishop takes e5. Yeah, so you have to find this knight g5. I missed this actually, to be honest. Oh, queen hangs. So what are we doing here? Guys, I'm not sharp today.
I like the politeness of people saying, "Isn't the queen hanging?" As if like maybe they made a mistake, not us.
No, we're idiots. Don't believe anything we say. So let's see. If ef6, so what happens? Knight f5.
Check.
Well, what's the check accomplish? Let's go g4. No, I go g4.
G4. That hangs the queen as well.
Oh god damn it! Check in g4.
Check.
Just
Okay, let's go here.
No, go to h8.
And then g4.
Go to h8.
Oh, okay. Then g4. This. Then check. That's mating, isn't it?
Oh yeah, go to f8.
Oh, I suppose you don't have to play the rook there.
Yeah, go. But
What do you
f8,
do?
g4, queen f3.
Okay.
You're losing though, right? Well, rook d8.
Rook d8.
I feel like we missed a win earlier here.
Take here.
There's also bishop h2 ideas floating.
I don't think that does anything.
Yeah,
Oh, you can
I
take
don't
on
think so
f2 after.
Yeah, no, this is falling apart. We've missed something here. I saw in chat Yago had this idea of going rook e4, which is probably the best move.
Yeah, that's nice. Wait, doesn't that hang the queen? as
Oh,
well?
check first and rook e4. God damn it!
Oh dear.
I don't know what I'm talking.
How many times?
How many times am I gonna hang the queen? Right? Do the same thing.
Okay. And then we've got.
Isn't the queen hanging? Thank you, Game for Frame. Thank you.
If knight takes, we can.
Oh, Assassin in White wants to do this a move earlier as well. This probably is good as well.
Yeah. Just.
Well, hold on. I could take on e5 there, can't I? So you take here, right? Well, first of all, I can play this.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Something like this, probably.
Yeah. Okay. I give up. Wait.
You can defend f7.
Yeah. Ooh. No, now I just got mated.
How?
I think I have to defend this way. If I go here.
King of 8?
Uh,
You don't have.
I forgot the bishop.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So hold on. We're after here. I think I want to take this bishop. Right, like this.
Okay. Pawn to 8.
Yeah, but now this. Right, I just have too many mate threats. Rook g4, queen h8.
Yeah. This.
I think I can.
Oh, there must be something here.
No, I was gonna play queen f6. Oh, that worked. Okay, you did more forcingly. Yeah, that wins. Okay, so this is the approach, and this is more complicated than I initially gave it credit for, actually, because underestimated this right away. I thought, or I guess the move I missed was this knight f5 covering the g7 square. So this is definitely more complicated than I gave it credit for. I also, when I was briefly looking over this game, I saw the funny move bishop d6, which is trying to prevent something from landing on f6, right? You take this, and then I take here. But of course, you've given your material back, and your king is so weak that it doesn't even matter. So this would be losing. Assassin and White also pointing out that in this line, after rook e4, you can give the queen, but of course the king will be so weak that it simply doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, and your light square bishop is still terrible.
So,
just like rubbing that in.
But after bishop f6, king h7, the attack becomes much less clear. But to White's credit, he's sacked a piece. He's all in on giving mate on the dark squares, so he's not going to back down from the challenge. He says, "Let's go." Right? This is the logical follow-up to his play, and it's not easy to defend. So in the game, Black played king g8, which is just accepting defeat, basically. But let's take here. You do have two pieces for a rook, but the king just gets massacred, I'm pretty sure. Queen g5, and here I think you have to play rook h8. That seems like an only move, right? Because otherwise queen h5.
Yeah, that does look very matey.
So I think perhaps Black missed this rook h8 resource and thought that if he takes the knight, it's, you know, pretty unstoppable mate here. Maybe there's also, can I take e5 and give a piece back? Because you've given two pieces. Is that possible?
Show me.
This.
Okay, so then you still give the check.
Do I give the check, or do I start with rook takes e5? After rook takes e5, you can't take it.
You can take the. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, that's.
I was
just...
gonna say you can take the.
So
queen,
I think you go rook h8, and you this is the move you have to find. So, yeah, this is. I have a feeling that Black missed this rook h8 resource, which is why after knight g5 they went king g8. But this leads to some unfortunate problems. So once again, I'll give the chat about a minute. White to play and win.
I'm just curious how long they actually spent on this. So they spent about 45 seconds.
Really?
49 seconds on that move. And with
That's...
over half your time left, with something as critical as a piece sacrifice like that, I think it's worth spending a lot more time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because you might be able to just say, give me a piece.
No, 45 seconds. Like, I'm spending 5 minutes in that position at least.
Iago, we keep attributing your idea, Assassin and White's ideas to you because we just have that faith that you could have come up with them as well.
Yeah.
Take on f2.
I assume he means f7.
Jupiter 64.
I'm pretty sure he means take.
Yeah, I assume so. See, my coordinates are so bad that I just automatically thought that that's what it was anyway.
Jesse also agreeing taking on f7. Interesting. So I'm just going to go on just to speed this up a little bit. In the game, White took on f7, which is blunders the win away. Because you have this idea of bringing the pieces in, but you're giving the Black king a little bit of space to operate. So You want to clear the knight so that you have this threat, but you don't want the king to have any squares. So the correct move here is to clear the knight on e6. And this is just not going to be defensible. I think the only reasonable defense here is to take with the rook, because if you're taking with the bishop, then you're just getting mated. So,
And if you take with the pawn?
if you take with the pawn, then you're just getting mated.
Yeah, there's an epaulet mate, but just to show it.
So you have to take. Is that what that's called? Epaulette make?
Yeah, when there's something on both sides, on the shoulders of the king. I think it might have to be on the edge of the board, but
That's cool.
same pattern. Maybe it's like a dovetail or something, or is that when it's like this?
Lord knows, I don't know. So this seems pretty forced. But then queen takes h6. Black is forced to sacrifice the rook here, and you unfortunately have not prevented this mate from landing on the board. Knight takes e6. Knight takes e6.
Bishop takes e6.
Oh, so he wants this right away. Ooh. And
if rook takes now?
Oh yeah, rook takes. That's a good move. Look at you, SP. You're bringing out the fireworks there. That's a nice move. That's a good one right there. Just, we want something covering g7. I don't care if my knight's covering g7 or my bishop's covering g7. I want something on that g7 square. Yeah, that's very strong. With the point being, you can take anything you want, but my next two moves are queen takes h6, queen g7.
So rook takes... Do we just take the queen?
Yeah, here we take the queen.
Okay. Or this.
No, but this shouldn't be enough. I just... No. I just moved the bishop, don't I?
Yeah, but...
Where to, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Wait, okay.
Yeah, well, it's not awe-inspiring on that square. I'll tell you that much. I come up c7 there.
Yeah. Maybe we want to...
Yeah, but then I do this.
Yeah. It's too slow.
And all of a sudden the bishop is h4. No, but I have a check.
Yeah, okay. This isn't even threatening anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, it's a bit of a clusterfuck, but it does appear to win. Okay, so in the game, knight takes f7 is played, which is the right idea, but slightly wrong execution, because now the black king has gained a tempo on the escape. But you were, Assassin, that was just material up in the ending position for white. It doesn't even need to be made, it was just material. Wasn't it? It was like, it was
two rooks, yeah.
It was rook and piece for queen. Oh god. Hey. Sorry about that, guys. My cat was chewing on my speaker cord a little bit. No, stop.
Jones Mike Navy says, I say we go back and recheck. We're probably not going to do that.
Yeah, we have a lot to get through. Sorry. The point is, rook g8 lands here, and black is actually covering his bases here. You can give the check and take on c7, but all of a sudden, black is able to shut down the attack. Now, white is still better because the black king is monstrously weak, but it's not at all clear, as like the other lines were like very, like either winning material or mating. So queen b6.
Decision, keep the queens on.
Oh yeah, you have to keep the queens on. Black king is floating on f8. Absolutely have to. Queen b6. Also, you're targeting this c5 pawn with check, so you know that seems good.
Could say that.
Knight f4, check. King e8. And yeah, I really like this next move. It's very ambitious. So black has a threat on g2 and also a threat on d3. And the reason I like this move so much is white just says, I don't care. I don't care about either threat. I'm busy making my own threats because your king is so weak that you're going to have problems. Jones Mike Navy suggests queen d5 before the move knight f4. It is definitely possible.
They play... Oh no.
Can I go c4?
It's legal.
I think it's good.
Is there any like ridiculous sacrifice on g2? Don't think so.
That seems a bit much.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I think this is just good. My point is, if you go here, I have rook e4 all of a sudden. But if you don't go there, then you're being driven off the c5 pawn, and your king is... What is that? Oh my god, oh my god. SP, you're making some unpleasant noises.
Oh, sorry. I haven't changed anything that I'm doing.
No worries. Yeah, the point is I'm just driving you off this point. I think white wins here. So knight f4 takes, and rook e4. I really like this because white has some really nasty threats, like, you know, some of this business coming up. And it's not easy for black to defend. So rook takes g2, and queen h7. Okay, clear threat here. So white first takes a pawn with check. Yeah, there's no way to defend this rook, right?
No.
Sad. Queen h7 is probably not a good move then.
It depends. It's the kind of position where maybe if you calculate all the way to the end, then
Yeah,
the
that's
queen
true.
ends up getting trapped somewhere, and then you have to have mate. So it's like,
true.
take all my material, I'm gonna mate you.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing I give away everything with check and then don't lose. The problem, maybe he missed this h4 resource. That's not so easy to see that white has h4. But if you're sacrificing a rook and a pawn with check, you need to check all your opponent's resources. After queen c6, king f8. Yes, this is possible, but again, I just play h4. And your rook is still hanging. Also, maybe I don't play h4, maybe I give queen d6 or queen c5 check. There's a lot to calculate here, but yeah, I would just play h4. Your rook is still hanging. I have checks. It's a vastly unclear position. Your knight on f4 is hanging as well. You have a lot that's hanging.
Spinette is saying they did miss it. So
yeah, okay, he missed.
It's hard, man.
So he calculated well, but I mean, when you miss an opponent, or he had this interesting idea, but when you're sacrificing rooks, you have to make sure you consider all opponent resources. I will say he's under 5 minutes here. He spent 25 seconds on this move. Oh, he spent.
Am I making sounds again?
Yes.
Sorry, I can hear them as well. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just gonna mute you really quickly and then unmute you and see what happens. Okay. yeah, so we missed this this idea, which is unfortunate. And Assassin in White has this idea after h4, Queen f5. But even here, I want to give a check. I feel like this check on d6 is going to cause you a problem. Right? I unmuted you, by the way, SP. Oh, now I can't hear you.
But yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, I can.
Okay, yeah, this I just don't see. Where you go?
Yeah, I think you get mated. Queen d8 check. Queen e7. Oh, I don't have g7. What am I talking about?
Yeah, but it still looks dangerous.
Yeah, do I have... Oh, I have queen e8. Yeah, this is good. King h7, queen h8.
Yeah, that's...
And how do I polish this?
Is that me? No, not
No,
quite.
there's h5. Do I go h5 check? Does that win? h5 check?
Yeah, which... Oh no, because queen takes forces the trade.
Yeah, but then the rook hangs on g2. Oh, you're playing that? But okay, but now I take the knight. And I'm up 80 trillion pawns. Oh. f3.
Okay, at least I saved my rook.
Yeah, you take on b2, but...
Yeah.
This is actually not the clearest thing in the world. As white,
I would take white here.
Yeah, I would be thrilled. But even here, so say I give you these...
Actually, wait.
Yeah.
Sorry. Where was that line? Here. We've got this with mate.
Yeah. That's nice. That's very nice. Okay, so someone's suggesting rook e3 as defense. Yeah, we're going to see that in the game. So, after...
Assassin in White, you go a bit too deep in buttons.
Well, but you have to calculate that out, or else it's like... It's a problem. Like, you don't... The evaluation of that line depends on whether or not you mate or not. So you have to calculate all those checks. H4, Queen f5, and as... Who suggested that? Assassin White suggested rook e3 here defends the h3 square. And not only that, we're discovering an attack against this g2 rook, so if we get in real trouble, we can sack on the rook. And we can play the position with rook in piece. Or no, sorry, it's 2 rooks for the queen and a billion pawns. So that's also playable. Queen g4. Does this even have a threat? Yeah, there's
yes, you can play rook h2 check and then... Oh no, the queen's defending.
Yeah. I think there's no threat. But I think white just played sensibly. Queen f3, queen f5, and now white's exchanging all the material, and the position is going to trade off into a position where white is just up a billion material. Bishop c6. Why can't I
That's
take
quite
this?
cute.
What am I missing?
Because there's...
Oh, queen g4.
Oh. I was looking at knight h3 check, but actually the rook takes.
Yeah, why
You can
why
take
can't I
that.
take this? He didn't take this, but I think you can.
Yeah.
I think you can take that. He didn't take this, but I think you can. Queen g3. Knight h5. Okay, but after queen g5, material is getting traded here. I mean, black can go queen h7, but he's just going backwards. And white just goes king f1, and he has a he's up in exchange and 4 pawns. exchanging 4 pawns. There's no threats against his king, so just a trivially winning position for white. Bishop d5, bishop d8, threatening a nice little check. King e8. Just moving the king along. I'm rushing through this because the position is pretty straightforward at this point. Black snags a pawn, but here rook f3, the last piece enters the game, and this is just going to be a splat. Bishop d5. He goes back. Is there really nothing here? There's no better square for this?
Keep holding on to that d3 pawn.
Yeah, but I can't.
Oh, you can't take it because there's mate.
Say again. Oh,
You can't
the queen
take
can't take.
d3 'cause
Yeah, but the problem is, where does the rook go?
something like rook f6, but
He just takes it.
well, yeah, that was the point. But
But what have you accomplished?
nothing, I now realize.
Yeah, so I think this whole time I would be looking at a move like bishop b6 here, trying to land a queen down there. Rook f3 looks very natural. I thought it was a good move, but upon further inspection, there's simply no square on the f-file for the rook, which surprises me. Rook e3 back, king d7. Okay, now bishop b6. Now the queen is entering, hopefully down here. Check. Bishop a5. Again, I like this sort of dark square dance that white is playing, moving the bishop to clear the square for the queen. I find that amusing. Queen a7. But now we give the check from the other side. Check. The queens come off. Or they don't. Well,
Actually, they do just one move later.
yeah, just I'll take this pawn first, and then I'll take your queen. Just a little insult to your injury. Rosin Zvinet says the critical move was knight takes d3 instead of rook takes g2. Yes, let's go back and look at that moment. It brings up a good point. Where was that? So back here, it was after this move, rook e4, where black played this extremely natural move, rook takes g2. But it turns out after this, too much stuff ends up hanging, right? The knight is hanging, which is guarding the rook. Also, there's this threat that's hanging. So, I guess the computer suggests the move knight takes d3 here. Just taking a pawn in a slightly less loose or dangerous way. And here, I don't know, what do I go? Queen e3? Or queen b6 maybe? I'm worried about queen b6 c5 a little bit. Actually, yeah, this is sort of annoying. So I really want rook d4, but after any queen move, I think black goes c5. Although, does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then c4, then I get what I want.
Sure. Yeah, I only saw the attack on the knight. Yeah, that's
Although,
nice.
is rook d8 ending the game? Question mark.
So move the queen somewhere.
Yes, I think you have to move to
Other
a7.
than f7. Yeah. Well, we're gonna check.
I kind of want to play rook d3.
One take.
Doesn't work, huh?
Queen b6 here. Huh, that's pretty nice. But don't lose the.
You take with the queen.
Yeah, but then it's.
This is a mess. I'm not convinced you have a threat here, to be honest. Like, oh, I can't do that. I was gonna say, can I play bishop b7? Maybe I can.
Wow, Why would I take on d8, playing rook takes, g2, king takes, knight f4? Also valid?
Yeah, I don't see the point here, really.
Where are we stepping? Yeah. Was that mating? Like matey?
Ooh, I do see the point, actually.
Maybe we step... Oh no, there's a
No,
check on
there's a check on h3.
e4 as well. Yeah, there's a check on e4 as well. But then here, there's a check here.
I can run away? There's knight d3 check, but you take that. This is complicated. Yeah, king c1 though. This is not what you want. Oh no, king c... ooh.
Oh, that's defended. That's defended.
Oh, it is. So it is. Yeah, I don't think this is really working.
Or at least we can't see it.
Yeah, it might be working. But I don't see what was wrong with taking on d8. Right? Queen takes d8, bishop b7. I think this is just...
I was just reading the chat.
I think this is just pleasant for black. Right, you give some check, I go here. What's the problem? Okay, but... Is this real? Do you have a threat? That's probably a good move. Maybe not. But like, what's your threat if I give you a discovery?
I was not even looking at discoveries.
Well, you have them.
Okay.
It's complicated. Maybe it wins.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why?
Did I lose you there? Oh, there you go.
Maybe. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So, Assassin in White says, why did White play Rook D8? I'm saying because it's a check, and you have to give a check.
I don't see what else you're playing here, really. Maybe Rook D6? But I don't see what that accomplishes. Yeah, this is very complicated. I don't know. I can't figure this out on my own. I think we should move on to our next game, simply because this didn't even come up during the game. So this is a little bit beyond the scope. We also went an hour on this whole game.
Yeah, I think we might end up having to split this into 2 streams.
That's possible. Oh, Queen F3. That's interesting. Maybe I have Queen F5 here? Ah, that might get mated though. With this. Can I take on F3? No, I can't. So I have to take here.
Oh.
This is mate. It's made on E7. Okay, yeah, that's very strong.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Queen F3 looks very dangerous. I don't know what else you play.
Anyway, next game.
Yes, next game.
Good game to both players.
Next game is a board 3 game. We're moving up in the world between Scarf and Phantom Numbers. It's always Phantom Numbers. This game was a very nice game, I thought. The white player played really logically, and like they played in a way that that made sense based on the needs of the position. So I like these sorts of games because they have a lot of logic and a lot of flow to them. So here Scarf led off with d4, and we have a Slav defense, bishop f5. How can you make this into a drinking game? Drink every time we blunder. You'll die.
You have to drink double for blundering the queen. So you've missed the fun part.
Yeah, you would have really died there for a hot second. White plays this interesting move, knight h4. I know a little bit about the Slav. I don't play this for either color. But I don't know anything about this move. You know something about this, maybe?
No, not really. I
We missed you. What'd you say?
tend to play the semi-Slav, so not really.
Do you allow this as white?
With the semi-Slav?
No.
Oh,
With white, you don't get to choose.
I've never played this with white.
Oh,
with
you would choose
knight
knight
h4.
h4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know a lot about this. It's an interesting idea.
I would just play e3 there probably.
Yes, as would I. Although I don't allow this for white. But yeah, it's really interesting because the position is very sharp, and black needs to know what they're doing if they don't want to get a bad position. Schwartz Zweitler is saying bishop c8 is a great response here. I don't. There's some.
I don't see how it could be.
Well, there's some merit to what he's saying in that the knight is on h4.
Well, if you move it back, it's the same exact position.
What do you mean? If white goes knight f3 back? Yeah. So bishop c8.
How can it possibly be great?
Well, you equalize as black.
Chess is solved. Okay.
Apparently, it comes with the idea of trapping the white knight. I don't quite see how you would do that. The knight will always have f3. Bishop c8 makes some sense, but I think bishop g4 is the most logical. h3, bishop h5, g4. This is white's whole idea. He's going to hunt down this light square bishop. Bishop g6, takes. And now white goes g5. This is very interesting. So white is delaying his development a lot and, making a lot of pawn moves and a lot of moves with the same pieces, but he forced black to make a lot of moves with the light square bishop, and he's gaining some space on the king side. However, black, in compensation, has this nice open file for the rook, and for now, he has a strong knight. Here, white plays e4, and this is why I mentioned that this line is very sharp and requires black to have some knowledge, because in the game, black takes on c3, which is a quite big mistake. It's you're solidifying the white center, and white just gets a really good position here because black does. This is like a Grunfeld center, but black doesn't have the typical pressure against the center, so it's just pleasant. Something pretentious. Do you remember what black should be playing here?
I do remember, because I have a fantastic memory for opening theory. But I do, it's knight b4.
So knight b4 is a very nice move. And the point is, after white plays the very natural move, bishop takes c4, black has this nice little shot, queen takes d4. With the points, he is tactically defending this pawn via the c2 square. So this is what I was talking about this opening being very sharp and black having to know his stuff, because black has to either know about this idea or find this idea. Game per frame is asking what happens if knight b4, bishop e3. I assume their knight d3 is a reasonable try, just winning your light square bishop back. Because you lose this pawn no matter what, I think. So this seems very logical to me. Takes. Yes, white has a good center, but it's not as strong as the center was with the pawn on c3, and his king side is a little Swiss cheesy here. And
something like e5 here might be nice.
Yeah, e5, right?
Touristy.
That's definitely probably a good idea. Although, what if white goes? I want to put a rook.
There's actually a game in this line.
Really?
It goes long castles.
Yeah, I was wondering if I wanted to play rook d1 or long castles. I knew I wanted a rook on d1. So yeah, long castles. The point is, if black takes here, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit uncomfortable to develop this piece. So I think black doesn't want to take there, but does that mean I'm playing knight d7? Ugh. Feels a little risky.
Yeah, e5 might be a bit short-sighted.
Well, it feels correct. Or maybe I can go bishop d6 here. No, I can't do that. Definitely can't do that. But go like knight d7, bishop d6. I think there's something here. Game per frame asking about d5 here. Let's see. This is possible, but I think I don't mind this so much.
I mean, you're still pinned, right?
Yeah, so say I just develop my pieces.
That's quite good. Okay, long castle.
Yeah, long castles.
That's a threat.
Long castles, but then I'll take on d5, play. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a mess. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna move us on from this just because this did not happen in the game, but it is a point just to point out how sharp and tricky these lines can be for really both sides. Also, I feel vindicated. Game per frame hung a queen in his analysis. It's not just us. So black clamping down, but here white has a light square bishop. Black does not. Black is weakening the light square diagonal, so it seems like some funny business is about to occur. Hey, just checking in. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sometimes you talk, but I don't hear you. So yeah, this is funny business occurring on the light square diagonal. Here as white, I would want to secure this diagonal, so I would start with e5.
What about queen d5 there?
Rook g1. I feel like you've only added to your misery.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you can give a check, but...
Is that my sound again?
Yeah, you're buzzy.
I have no idea why it's doing that.
Anyway, I'll carry on. You can try and sort out whatever's happening over there. So yeah, I would start with e5 just because after a move like bishop g2, I think black can play e5 here. And just try and shut down the light square diagonal. Alright, Game per Frame, thanks for coming. I really appreciate your comments and analysis, and hope to talk to you soon. Yeah, I think black can shut down this diagonal. So...
can we play... Wait, say that. Play that again?
Oops.
Can we now take here?
Sure.
Oh. Yeah, I was looking at this discovery, which does not work.
Yes.
Ignore me.
No, you're good, you're good. So yeah, I would just start with e5, just really making sure that this diagonal will open. After e5, bishop d2, after e5, d5 is strong? Is that true? I'm never taking this.
If you don't take, you lose a pawn.
Do I? Why?
So play your move.
Well, I have to decide what move that is. It might be queen b6.
Okay, then you don't lose a pawn. Actually, you might still.
Why?
So queen b6, bishop e3.
Okay, queen b6 wasn't brilliant. I'll admit.
But yeah, Jones might maybe is saying my idea. Take on c6, then b5.
Yeah, no, I understand the idea. I also wonder if I can play b4. That seems risky. Okay, what if I'll this is annoying. Well, okay. If you're taking on c6, then you are sacrificing castling rights, right?
If you trade quick.
Well, I assume I will. How can I best prepare for this? What if I go bishop c5?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay, I'll play. Yeah, that is nice. What about this one?
This feels a little wonky.
Oh, that does drop this pawn.
Yeah, right? There's some business going on here.
Maybe. How about the queen?
Why is this queen on g4?
Oh. We could just castle, right?
Yeah, you can. Do I have to take this thing? I really wish I didn't. Okay, new attempt. Let's do this.
Okay. I think I can get away with this.
Really?
Although now you can go here and I can't castle.
That's true.
Okay, so maybe I don't want to play that. Maybe here I go here, but then you have this. Oh, this is...
It's messy.
This is so far away. Yeah.
My point is
we keep doing this.
My point is don't allow the pawn to e5. You right?
Okay.
Just play e5. Keep the diagonal open. You're gonna get some business going on this diagonal. I promise you. There's gonna be some business on this diagonal. After bishop g2, black played a5. His idea is to clear the rook via the a file. Queen e2 was played. Again, I would play e5 here. Because queen e2, I think I can go e5 again. But queen e2 is not a bad move. Black goes e6, and now white goes e5. And white is just really playing, because he's the only player with the light square bishop, he is playing to dominate on the light squares. And this is what I was talking about white playing a very logical game and playing to the needs of the position. Because he's the only one with the light square bishop, he's going to play to take over the light squares, and everything he does is just extremely logical in this game. Rook a6, stepping out of this pin so that this is not going to be a problem. h4. Love what's happening here. White is planning to crack out these light squares, like we talked about. It's all about the light squares. Bishop e7 and f4. SP, what's the idea behind f4?
Ooh, pass.
Pass.
I assume it's not just to defend the pawns.
Well, so he's defending g5.
Well, now you can move your bishop.
That's possible. I think his idea is he's defending g5 because he wants to break open the light squares with h5. Right. So if he plays h5 right away, boom. Obviously not grand. So he wants to secure this point, and then he's going to break on the light squares with h5. Black
Well,
took.
actually, sorry,
Yeah.
I just want to see. Can we take here? Oh, it's with check. I was thinking we have this.
Even if you
Never
do,
mind.
I'm not sure that's so great for you. Maybe it is. Knight d7 and h5 as promised. Again, white's playing extremely logical here. Here black took with the pawn on h5, and white played rook takes h5, but I think there is an extremely interesting move based on the fact that black played pawn takes h5. So if you'd like, I'm going to throw this to the chat. What is a powerful continuation for white that is not rook takes h5? Rook takes h5 is good, but it's not the best continuation in my opinion.
It's probably not queen takes h5 either.
Probably not. I can see that
Do you
one.
love hanging them queens?
I know. I've been bad today. It's because I'm not sharp. I haven't been playing a lot of over the board chess. That's what keeps me in shape.
I'm having to think about this one as well. I don't know what you're talking about.
Chat is quiet. I've stumped them.
It's a thinker. F5 is interesting but not effective. My only thought so far that is halfway reasonable is to play queen e4, but I'm pretty sure you can just play g6 there.
Queen e4. Your idea is to play pawn g6.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
but I think black just plays g6 and you're fine.
Yeah, agreed.
You could maybe. Oh, that's terrible.
Queen g4
So you
X-plan.
could Sorry?
Queen g4.
Queen G4 X-plan.
Question mark X-plan.
Yeah. And then you say, I can then take your rook and your queen, except then they play bishop or knight to f8.
Well, if they didn't have anything to block on f8, it would be mate. That'd be amusing.
No, that would be pretty nice.
Unfortunately, not working. So the correct idea has been mentioned. f5, because the pawn no longer controls f5. I just want to murder you on the light squares. How would you defend this?
If I take you playing e6.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I take that as well.
Oh, so let's look at some lines here. Jones Mike Navy has suggested knight f8. I'll look at that next. I think the critical line is to take here. e6. You're taking this as well. You said. I take that. How do you play? Thank you.
Okay, let's not play that then. Yeah, this is tricky. I'll admit it's a decent move.
So let's look at Jones Mike Navy has suggested knight f8. Knight f8 here, I think, runs into an extremely amusing move, which is f6. And the bishop simply has no square. So this is going to be winning for white, as the bishop is trapped. If you take first, and then go knight f8, here I worry for that king. Let's start by taking on f7. I think
taking must be forced.
you have to take it, yeah. Now, I have a lot of options here. I have g6, I have rook takes h5, I have, like, anything to the f file. I think the position.
Well, anything to the f file, and you're going to get g6 in.
Yeah, that's a good point. So putting something on the f file, I think g6
A knight takes.
like feels right. Let me calculate a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, Stilly. I think rook takes h5 is probably best.
Well, so here's what I was worried about. I was worried about this. And I didn't exactly see how I was breaking through in this position. That's why I think g6 is actually a nice move, because I'm discoordinating your pawns here. So when I force your knight to take, it suddenly gets rid of all these g6 options, and like now I'll take this, right? This, I think this seems a lot stronger with this knight sort of sitting here where it doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I still don't see a great way to attack them.
I don't think I have to be quick here.
Yeah, okay.
Like, say I go like bishop f4 long castle or something.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here so I can stop that.
Okay, but did you really stop that?
I mean, yeah, play bishop f4.
Okay, my bishop can go to other squares. I can also take f5.
This is kind of interesting.
Ooh, queen e6. Queen e6, please.
Yeah. I would like to pretend that that was a mouse slip, but it was not.
No, this is
Okay.
no, but he just takes on a3. This is bad.
Yeah.
No, so I think I go bishop like d2, say.
Okay, now I want to move my king somewhere. Let's just get back.
I don't think you're gonna enjoy this. Okay, I didn't want to do that. I don't want my king there. Let's put the king on f2.
Okay. Ooh, that's mate, isn't it? No, it's not quite. Looks pretty bad though.
Yeah, you're walking into some funny business. Why not queen e6 after
Maybe I
bishop
didn't want to
d2?
move the king there. Maybe I want to move the king here.
We had a suggestion of queen e6, but I think it's the same thing. I go king f2, and my rook sort of swings in. I don't think my king is unhappy on f2.
Yeah, this is a bit awkward. Maybe instead of my queen idea, maybe we play something like this.
Interesting.
Get my rook involved, start to bust open that center.
Let me put the bishop here. But you're just improving my pieces now, aren't you?
Perhaps.
You have bishop h4 check, actually. I think I misplayed this. Let me go back a little bit. After g6, knight takes g6. I think perhaps I don't want this h5 pawn. I think that's not the pawn I want. I think I want to go after this pawn.
This looks nice though.
Why? Fair. Maybe this is not so easy.
Tricky position.
Definitely
C5 possible from chat.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. There's I like this bishop f6 move is probably very good. Let me go back. So f5 takes e6. You play knight f8.
Maybe you just want to take. No, that doesn't work. I was going to say maybe you want to take on h5 now, but then you just play knight takes.
I
The
don't.
pawn after the trade.
I have a dumb idea.
Hang on. Okay, so take.
G6.
Yeah, this is similar to the game then.
No, but the game. Yeah. Yeah, this is a killing. That's a much better way. Anyway, let's get back on track with the game. I just wanted to point out, because black sacrificed some control of the light squares, it makes me think about this light square breakthrough. It turns out it's very complicated. But, you know, knight f8, like, there's some tricky stuff going on here. So, very interesting idea. But rook takes h5 is not a bad idea, and it's much simpler. Takes. Here, black blunders with queen b6. Again, white has a very simple idea. He wants to play on the light squares. So, pretty much an only move here for black is the move g6. You cement the light square here, you cement the light square here, and you at least assure that you're not going to get mated over here. But after queen b6, white just slams g6 on the board, and the light squares are falling apart on the king side. So yeah, here black felt obligated to play f6, which I agree. And white made his life a little complicated here. What would you play here, SP?
Well, if you take with the pawn, that's just going to activate black's pieces.
Agreed.
It's tricky. I want to develop, but I can't think of anything good to play. If you play bishop h3, are you just playing f5 now?
Bishop h3. I might play f5. I might play c5.
Yeah. Don't want to give the check on h8.
Why not?
Although, okay, so bishop blocks to prevent dropping g7. Oh, then queen g8.
Yeah, this is just a very clean win. So this was missed in the game, but this shouldn't be missed because this is like the forcing line, which is the first thing you can consider. Whereas here, the queen is targeting e6. We're targeting a check on f7. We can bring more pressure to bear on the light squares with bishop h3.
What happens here though?
Yeah, so c5, I agree. I want to give a check, I think. Or, what about the move d5 here?
Wow. You're gonna play d6, I assume.
And I'll probably play
If I didn't take that.
I'll probably play d takes e6.
But then it's trading down.
No. Oh, you have a rook on a6.
Yes.
I've missed this.
So I think d6 is very strong though,
Yeah, I agree.
cutting off the defenders. So I think I kind of have to take it.
Yeah, but then your position is trash, right?
Yeah.
Like I brought more light square people to the fray, and now I think I am threatening to play e6.
Yeah, this is just brutal. take on e5.
I think so. I think you can do that first, but you can't play knight takes. Or sorry. If you do this, I need to. If you take on e5, I need to interpolate this check, so that you don't have knight takes e5, right? Because your bishop hangs.
Yes.
So I interpolate the check, and then you have problems. I'm still threatening to play d6, so you take this, but also, by the way, I can tickle you from the other side. I can play bishop h3. There's like all sorts of problems potentially happening here. Yeah, where's this king going? No, my piece has just come flying in. It's a total disaster. Right, I give the check. The king goes somewhere. I don't know where.
Well, I'm worried about this pawn. That's the thing.
I don't think I.
So
I'm gonna make that untakeable. So you go king c8. I'll go bishop h3.
Go here, yeah. Okay, we can't even defend that because the bishop is hanging as well.
Yeah. Position falls apart. So this was a fairly clean win, with the queen just sort of sneaking in and providing horrible threats. And I found it fitting that the final sort of nail in the coffin was this move d5, again breaking on the light squares. It's so thematic in this position. White is just using this monstrous bishop to play the position. Instead, the white player chose something that's definitely in line with the theme, but it's much sharper, and that's the move f5. And the thing about this move f5 is the center sort of starts to break down, and white gets reminded that his king is not so safe on this e1 square. So black takes here. Assassin and White was mentioning a knight sacrifice on e5 after f5, which is also potentially possible. Like something. I guess you take here first, and then you give the knight sacrifice. But here, let me see. Can you take this way first? That's probably bad, right?
I don't know, this is sharp.
This is probably bad. I think you have a problem here.
Yeah, and there's also bishop a3 coming, maybe.
Yeah, bishop a3 or simply queen g8 f7 is also coming. I think there's just too many problems. So I think f takes e5 is probably correct here. But then f e6, the knight has to go to f6. And now white gives the check on h8, bishop f8, and here I think white makes his first like really big mistake of the game. Up until this point, white's been playing a really logical game where black has been playing a really logical game. No, what am I saying? White has been playing a really logical game where he's been following this one idea. But here he plays this move bishop h6. And bishop h6 is a good idea if black takes it. But you always have to ask yourself, if you're going to offer material, what if they don't take it? Like, what is this bishop accomplishing here on h6?
Yeah, I mean, even if you just play something simple, I guess like rook a7.
Yeah, that was played in the game, right? And you're just defending this point, and you're sort of saying, hey, why is there a bishop on h6? What's this doing? And so I think this was, like, white found this, like, cool idea, but he didn't stop to consider, like, what happens if he just defends his pawn? It doesn't take it. why is my bishop on h6? I think it made more sense to play either bishop g5 here. This is like the same idea as bishop h6, except you actually have a purpose of maybe one day you'll take the knight. Right, you're still forcing a move like rook a7 because otherwise takes in g7. Or I think it was also reasonable to play the move bishop e3 here and just cement this this point of the position. But okay, bishop h6 was chosen, rook a7, and now white played long castle. And here's where the game becomes very interesting, because black correctly goes b takes a5 and says, hey, how's your king feel on c1 right there?
Yeah, you kind of forget when you're attacking that you also have a king.
Yeah, sometimes I do this a lot actually, where I'm going all out, I'm playing for mate, and then all of a sudden like I'm getting baited. I'm like, wait, this isn't fair. I was giving mate. You can't do this. But it's a very, very nice idea from white here that saves the game. White takes on e5. This is very logical. He's putting more pressure on the white king position. And here, black plays rook b7, which is a blunder. You probably need to go knight d5 here. And after knight d5, it's not so clear, because there is big time counterplay coming down the b file. Like, what do you play here as white?
Yeah, it's tricky. We've kind of boxed our queen in. There's no activity. Rook f1 is a suggestion from chat.
It's probably a good move.
Yeah, but I don't actually see a way to defend that.
So rook f1. I have queen c5. e7 in rook f1. That's very creative. His idea is if e7, rook takes e7, rook f1, I can no longer defend this piece. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah.
However, after e7, I can't take with this with a knight? Question mark.
Then do we play bishop takes?
Oh.
g7?
This is messy though.
Man.
Messy, messy, messy.
What about...
There's a lot going on here.
Queen h5?
Yeah, right? Queen h5.
There's queen e3 check.
There's queen e3 check. There's c5.
This is such a crazy position.
There's just rook takes g7. Simple. Rook takes g7. Yeah, just... Yeah. I don't think e7 works. I think e7 is interesting. I think rook f1 is probably best, but then after... Or do I go queen e3 check or queen c5? Oh, I don't have queen e3. What am I talking about? I go queen c5. And I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Now do you have e7? No, I go queen takes. Yeah, total mess. I am not convinced.
Like we like it.
I'm not convinced that black is worse here.
Bishop e3 here as a suggestion.
Yeah, I'll just
hangs it to the knight, does it not?
No, it hangs it to the queen. It doesn't hang it to the knight. Or no, it does hang it to the knight. Yikes.
You can't take with the queen. Oh, queen check, yeah.
Assassin White has the suggestion of the problem with e7 was that I was taking with the knight. So what happens if we take him first? I wonder.
We take the bishop now on h6.
Oh my god, that wasn't even on my radar. No, because then... Oh god. Maybe. No, if you take the bishop on h6, I go rook f1. No, sorry, I go e7 and rook f1. e7, rook f1.
We've lost a piece.
What? You're losing f8.
We lose a piece. Also, yes.
Oh, God. Do I lose that rook? Holy moly. Okay, yeah, I can't do that. This is such a mess. And maybe you can take h6. That move was like literally never on my radar.
I've just been waiting.
Waiting to take f6?
Give me that piece.
And there's nothing like this either?
Ooh. Oh, Jesus. I mean, rook takes is forced, right?
Well, yeah, but then rook f1 is coming. Or no, so here, you go here. Ah, but...
That is still a check, though. That's mate.
That's mate, yeah. I think this loses.
Jeez.
I think you can't take. I think you have to take this.
Okay.
And then rook f1... Or no, it was e7, right? Rook f1. Does this win? But now do I just take this? Or do I have the check and win the rook again? No, I don't. I think I take this.
So, what, rook takes?
Yeah, it has to be. Look, I don't know what's happening here.
I think we can run that pawn now.
I think white's winning. I think white wins the queen, actually. Yeah, white's winning the queen.
That's
oh,
fine.
Just kidding. White's not winning the queen. But you're going g7, right?
Yeah, that's why I want to take with the queen, actually.
I'd probably give perpetual, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I give perpetual. I think that's a draw. Anyhow, black played an alternative move, but it turns out to be a very poor move. So rook b7 was played in the game. Rook b7 is very interesting. He's sacrificing a piece, but he has a mate in one threat, so it's not really a piece sacrifice. So at this point, there's a single winning move for white. Who can find the only winning move for white? This was a nice finish to this game.
Yeah, this was really lovely. Kudos to Scar.
Blinky and Clyde, very strong. Bishop takes c6. We are not averse to giving away a piece simply to draw the queen away from the mating square. Bishop takes c6, and the point is, you no longer have a threat, so I can now accept your knight on f6, and these pawns are going to cause your king just a little bit of trouble, just a hair. All sorts of threats, takes, f7, e7, takes, like, you know, there's just a billion threats. And after the move queen e4, white found the best finish. How would you finish the game as white? Last puzzle for this game.
I'm carrying on solo. I think we should probably split it.
Iago with the correct move. Queen takes f8 with a back rank mate. F7 check should also win, but it's not quite as clean as just a mate into queen takes f8. The point being, I have created my own wall against your king, which means you have a back rank issue. Rook d8 is mate. I really like this game. It was super logical. I love this sort of chess where white wins the white square bishop early. He has control of the center, and he just breaks through on the light squares. It's like a very positional, strategical chess. It got a little hairy at the end. We allowed a little bit of counterplay against the king, but overall just a very strong game from the white players. So I thought this was really instructional. You're saying you you want to split it? I probably want to split it too. It's been 3 hours, right?
Yeah, let's split it. We can probably do it next weekend, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, thank you all for attending and enjoying our coverage. Because we take a long time, because that's just how me and Something Pretentious are. We always do this. We are going to split the reviews up. So next weekend we'll do the 3 high board games. We have 2 board 2 games and 1 board 1 game. So look forward to that. We'll be posting that in the Lichess 4545 Slack. Any final words, Something Pretentious?
No, just that stream.
Awesome. Your final words were robot words. Say them again.
Oh no. Well, it's traditional, isn't it? I was saying it's always a pleasure. So thanks.
It is always a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks to you as well. And thanks to all our viewers who come out, chat with us, give us suggestions, point out when we're blundering horribly. We appreciate the corrections, and we hopefully will see you next week. Toodaloo!
Bye.